WDW Radio, your information station.
So as part of Walt Disney World's 40th anniversary celebration, famed artist Noah has actually come in and been commissioned to create some special 40th anniversary pieces. Noah, great to see you.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good. This is good stuff. We had a chance to watch you work and watch you. I love watching you create things on the fly. I saw you over at the D23 Expo. Yeah. I saw you last night. You were rocking a very cool, very sort of creepy Haunted Mansion print as well.
The room for one more Gravekeeper. We want to do something that was cool that we could actually add. There is one part of the edition where you can add your name to the tombstone or whatever you want. Oh, no, so you can put a funny saying on there or something cool. So we want to have that kind of interactive art where now you can take it to the next level. So it was just a blast, man, and got to paint. I wanted guests to be able to see it being created in front of their eyes.
So, but you create one original, but if guests like the print, they can also get it in different sizes as well.
Right, correct. Like behind me, we have the 40 Wonderful Years castle that I created for the event. This is the actual original, and then behind me, from the other side, that was for the Haunted Mansion. Okay. So this is an example of where the originals will be pretty large, but then we'll offer them in a smaller piece like this. Okay. And that allows it, entry level 3,500 or 30, not 3,500. Yeah, 3,500.
Entry level at 3,500.
Yeah. No, $35 gets people into collecting, and then you can jump up to like $200, and that's for the canvas little wraps. But yeah, just wanted to offer an assortment where it wasn't just like really small or jumping up to really big. Right. Wanted something kind of in between for everybody, and it was crazy. Today was. I can't even put into words what happened today.
It's been an interesting dynamic to watch, even starting with the Room for One More event last night, because so many people are here specifically for merchandise, whether it's pins, prints, vinyls, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, and what's really cool is just seeing collectors. Okay, I always have a few things on my mind. Is what guests are new. Like we had a full handful of brand new Vinylmation collectors buying their first piece, and it was one of the 9-inch one-of-a-kinds. Wow. I mean, talk about entry level. Yeah. So that was great to see. Then we had people that have flown to every single event, and even getting on the ship. So that was a huge encouragement, and the loyalty is just totally humbling, and we're totally grateful for that as a company and as a brand. Like, give me a break. You flew here to.
I was like, you've got like cult like Mr. Toad Horizons kind of following.
Oh, no, it's been a blessing, man. Well, I don't take that lightly. The loyalty of these collectors. I mean, there's a group called the Vinyl Maniacs. I'm going to give a shout out to. The hardcore group of collectors that just collect all my one of a kind. So I'm grateful for them. But yeah, there's a really cool thing happening with Disney collecting, and I think everybody sees what's happening around them now. It's the collecting of art and the application of art, vinyl, the apparel, everything's getting really, really cool, man. And it's really encouraging to see that.
I think one thing that has happened that I've seen with the vinyl specifically, and I think it goes to your popularity as well, is the vinyls was one of the first things where artists were putting their names on it, where a piece of merchandise was coming out and you'd see Noah, Randy Noble. So you're associating a name, but you sort of take it to another level because you are very accessible, and not only do you go to events, but people get to watch you work and create the pieces that they take home. So they feel sort of a sense of, ownership of it almost because they've watched you make it.
The best way, I mean, you've struck a chord there. The best way to describe it is the art is the memento of the time that we've shared together. It's kind of the takeaway. You get to have that piece of art or that vinyl on your shelf, and you're like, hey, I was able to kick back with Noah. We got to dialogue. We got to share stories, and this is the memento of it. And that to me is like the best. And now, we're taking that into other levels with the apparel now. So really excited.
But your style is very sort of out of the box, and that's what I think appeals to a lot of people. So we think about the Gravedigger, we imagine that iconic scene, and you sort of take it and put a whole different spin on it. And this one here behind me, it caught my eye because you obviously present the mansion from a different angle, totally different sort of color palette than we're used to seeing of the purples and the blacks and the greens, and yet you still take out a lot of that storyline, the little red roses on the bottom, and the raven being such a focal part of the piece.
Yeah, the idea for me, specifically on any of the art, is I want it to be through a different filter and I know this sounds funny, but look at Bruckheimer's work, right? You'll look at the way the colorization and the filters on all the pieces that, or all the movies that are done, the colorization, the filter. I kind of have that same look. So I don't want you to see the mansion piece in a light that you've ever seen it before. I want it to look like it's right out of a movie. It's like, dude, what world is that? I want to visit that world. That is amazing.
The thing that I keep looking at the mansion is it does seem to tell a story because there's so much sort of detail in there too. So every time I keep looking back at it, I pick something else out. So I didn't originally see, the second Raven. I didn't see some of the the barren trees on the right-hand side. So it is a great sort of storytelling medium too.
Oh, thanks, man. It's fun to play and hide little what I call Easter eggs. People have to search them out and look for them. The room for one more gravekeeper. The hidden Mickeys in the clouds, and people having to hunt around and look for stuff. Dude, that's another thing to nerd out on. I love it.
So you talk about nerding out. So I noticed again, I saw you do it at the expo. I saw you do it again last night. You don't sort of necessarily paint from your mind. You sort of paint from a canvas that you create already, but not a piece of paper. You bring your iPad.
Yeah.
So you bring your iPad, and you're just sort of going right off the iPad, just airbrushing away.
Yeah, because it allows me to zoom in. It allows me to get in on my pieces and look at it. And it's really bright as well, and it's mobile, and I don't have to print. Saving a tree, the whole nine. But allows me just to carry my whole portfolio in there, new ideas. Like I was even presenting new ideas here on it. So yeah, it's pretty virtual, but it's great, man. It's ultimate tool for an artist. I mean, I can adjust things. I was doing new concepts on it. I'm literally drawing on it, painting on it, conceptualizing, erasing, doing new stuff on it. So it's fun.
So you put the basic concept there, and then this is where you really put it sort of pen to paper.
Oh yeah, totally. And again, going back to the whole, you were talking about the wow factor and just the punch. I just want these pieces to be extremely dynamic compared to the norm of what's out there. I mean, yeah, they're dark. They're actually black canvases where I'll start from black and start painting. But there's a realism and a bounce and light that I think everybody's attracted to with it. It's almost like this, it's not eerie. It just almost has this really spiritual feeling about it. And that was the comments we got on the castle. Like, that castle's a whole different vibe that I've ever seen. It like feels really spiritual. And dude, I just look at it as, like, I'm doing this new image of Walt, and I wanted to have that spiritual aspect of it. It's like, dude, here is an amazing man who influenced and had this magic in his life of having such an impact on so many people. And how great is that to bring that out in even a portrait of him, to just make him look and feel really special. Not just, oh, he copied a black and white photograph, but man, he actually made you feel like you had his soul. So
yeah, and again, especially when you're painting on such a big canvas like you did at the expo, it's a lot of pressure not only trying to capture Walt, but capture it in such a big way.
5 feet tall. I think it was 5 feet tall, and he's backing way far away from it just to get a good view of it. But that piece had a huge impact on people. I had no idea, man. They were like seeing it from across the room. They would come up. A couple of people got really emotional about it. And he's that special, and that's why I want to bring him to life, because, he deserved to be seen, but in a way and in a light that is that's remembered for all the great things that he's done. We've got to remember it. He's the one who started all of this. We can say it started with a mouse. No, it started with Walt. Then it started with a mouse.
Well, it's evident that you get it sort of in your work, because I think that comes through, and I think that's why your work is so important for a lot of people. And again, it's got sort of the high-end collectible value, and it also has sort of the lower point for those of us just want to throw them in a frame from Michael's, because we want the art in a room. Yeah. But the fact that you are here sort of talking to people about it, explaining to them what you've done, and again, making it accessible sort of on any level, I think is why so many people gravitate to it. Plus, it's beautiful too.
Well,
so.
And I encourage, we're on, I'm okay to say Twitter and the site. Yeah, we're on Twitter and Facebook under Noah Fine Art. But one of the reasons why I love that part of the community of Twitter and Facebook, because I actually get to hear, dude, I can't tell you how many requests for Figment I've gotten. I can't tell you how many more requests for Stitch, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Everybody has their favorites. That interaction on our community and hearing that's what helps me create the product that they want to see. And Walt was all about that. I want to provide and create stuff that people want to see. So, in a sense, I want to do the same thing. Painting for myself is painting things that I know other people are going to love and gravitate to. So if you got a favorite character, if there's something that you've always wanted to see, some of those are the best ideas and nuggets for a great story to be told on canvas. So you tell me what you're thinking of, and that's what I want to create. That's what helps drives my business.
And your business is thriving because people were lined up at 4:30 this morning, not for the October 1st celebration, but for the merchandise. So
it was bonkers. So, and I'm going to say this to those of you that are listening, that are watching. I can't thank you enough. I'm humbled every single time. You encourage me to go back to the studio and dream up even more amazing things and raise the bar again. But I could not do what I do. My family wouldn't be here without you guys. So my heart is completely grateful and thankful. So thanks so much.